à tous, vous avez ici une bonne partie du staff Halo.fr pour assister dans quelques instants bientôt à la présentation, la première présentation française de Halo 3 ODST. Donc on est là pour vous, on va vous faire un petit reportage au programme, une interview de Lars Bakken, multiplayer designer chez Bungie, et ainsi que Ryan Crosby qui travaille chez Microsoft Game Studio America et qui gère en fait toute la franchise Halo en collaboration avec Franco Connor. Donc avec moi ici de Halo Destiny, il y a S-Party. Bonjour S-Party. Derrière moi Phoenix le chat, le vieux de la bande. Ici EHF en personne avec Arazel, le président. Photo. Et Future Life, la serpillière du groupe qui est ici. Donc voilà, là on vous a juste fait une petite présentation et là on fonce tester tout ça. A tout de suite, on y va? En plein jeu, c'est les impressions.
En plein jeu, niveau légendaire, là c'est hyper fun, les ennemis arrivent de partout, c'est progressif, c'est très prenant, c'est excitant, ça fout le stress, et ça manquait depuis un petit moment. Ça manquait.
Et là, comme on voit, ton écran est très rouge. Hein.
Là c'est parce que je suis mal en point, j'ai du sang qui sont injectés dans les orbites. Mais on a le temps de rien, et là en firefight, comme je viens de le dire, il y a des ennemis partout, il n'y a pas de radar, donc tu n'as pas le droit à l'erreur, quoi. Tu dois faire confiance en tes amis. C'est sûr que si on avait un peu plus de calme ici et qu'on avait le casque, on pourrait faire des stratégies. Là pour le moment, bon, bah, là on découvre, hein, c'est un petit peu fun, là on joue nuitamment, mais c'est pas grave puisqu'avec le bouton X, on a cette vision tout à fait particulière qui délimite les ennemis. Donc dans l'ensemble, moi, bon, il faut dire que dès le départ, je suis un fan convaincu, donc vous ne m'entendrez jamais dire de mal. Je suis mort. Je suis mort.
Alors tes impressions en plein jeu?
Alors là, à chaud, les impressions, c'est qu'il est hyper réactif. Il est assez... faut être très dynamique, tu n'as pas le temps de t'ennuyer, les salles, tu les vois pas arriver. On a partout de tous les côtés, limite les respawns, tu les sens pas, quoi. Et
Pour l'instant, on a pu voir que le firefight sur le jeu.
Ouais, mais c'est sûr.
Donc une très bonne grosse première impression, où là on peut exploiter vraiment le travail d'équipe, où chacun va pouvoir exploiter un peu ses capacités, ses points forts. On va laisser le sniper à celui qui sait s'en servir, on va laisser le rusher en avant s'occuper des élites, des brutes, etc.
Génial, on peut prendre le marteau.
C'est vraiment
Merci. Moi je vais passer au gros pro de la MLG.
Salut.
Donc le mec
Salut,
ne jure
les gars.
que par le BR. Donc
Eh ben, il s'ennuie beaucoup.
il s'ennuie.
Sans son BR.
D'accord. Vas-y, exprime-nous un peu tes impressions.
Alors mes impressions elles sont un peu différentes, je trouve ça complètement ultra répétitif. Jouer contre des gros flots toute la journée, je trouve ça super lassant, ils sont nuls, ils comprennent rien, ils sont à côté, ils mettent des bulles, ils font leur truc mécanique à côté, ils vont même pas dedans. On a des armes, tirer sur la gueule de l'autre côté de la carte en mitraillette parce qu'il n'y a pas d'autres armes dans le jeu, c'est lourdingue. Voilà, donc je trouve ça ennuyant.
Donc Xbox Mag, des impressions d'Xbox Mag.
Alors bah je sais pas, qu'est-ce que tu veux, impression générale ou...
Ouais, bah ce que tu penses du jeu. Je vais sélectionner
Si tu veux, c'est bien qu'il y ait un nouvel, c'est bien qu'ils aient fait un nouveau Halo, je pense. C'est bien qu'ils aient fait l'effort d'essayer de faire une nouvelle campagne. Le scénario, la façon dont ils présentent le scénario, elle est intéressante avec des flashbacks et tout. Maintenant, le jeu change très peu par rapport à Halo 3, je trouve. Le mode qu'on peut jouer là, Firefight, c'est amusant, mais je trouve que c'est pas le gameplay qui correspond le mieux à la façon de jouer qu'on a avec Halo. Donc très honnêtement, je suis pas encore tout à fait convaincu. J'attends de voir un peu plus le jeu. Pour moi, c'est un peu, pour l'instant, c'est un peu limite pour un énorme blockbuster de fin d'année. C'est pas un blockbuster de fin d'année pour moi.
D'accord. Et toi, tes petites impressions?
Mes impressions générales, quand je joue à Halo 3 ODST, j'ai vraiment l'impression de jouer au multi classique d'Halo 3 en fait. Donc est-ce que ça change? Oui, parce que forcément quand on joue à ça, on a l'impression de jouer au mode horde des guerres de force. Donc là, j'ai pas été plus convaincu que ça, sincèrement.
Pas convaincu quoi. Pas convaincu.
Pas convaincu à 100%. Bon, après, faut voir sur le long terme ce que ça peut donner, mais là, je suis sceptique, on va dire.
D'accord. Bon bah merci.
My name is Lars Bakken. I'm a senior designer at Bungie, and I worked on campaign mission design, and then I also was lead designer on Firefighting.
Okay.
The team is sort of small, probably about somewhere between 40 and 50 people. The objective really was to try and tell a new kind of story in the Halo universe. So, we had the Master Chief in Halo 1, 2, and 3, and we wanted to tell sort of an expansion, like a side story. And we realized pretty quickly that the ODSTs were going to be very cool for that. The other thing we wanted to do was tell a different kind of story. In Halo 1, 2, and 3, they're really linear. Like you're going from one place to the next, and it's very much like a ride, like a movie. And in ODST, we wanted to have a little bit more non-linear. So you're actually choosing where you want to go, and you're playing the missions in the order that you want to. And since you're changing team members as well, as you play the flashback missions, it actually works really well with the story structure. Probably the city of New Mombasa. You guys didn't really get a chance to see it too much other than what I showed you in the demonstration, but it's massive, it's really big, and it was very difficult to wrangle just to get it to work properly because it was kind of pushing the technology really far. Like the Halo engine was fighting against us making a map that big, and so that was probably the hardest part.
Okay.
So there's a couple things we do. First, we actually came up with some new types of AI. So, or actually how the AI behaves. First of which is squad patrol. And that's a new system that allows the AI to pretty much control what it's doing in the city. So we have multiple roaming phantoms that are constantly circling over the city, and they're choosing random routes, and then they're dropping guys off in different locations. And once the guys are dropped off, they actually then choose a random patrol route to choose, or to go along. So every time you play the game, you're going to see different enemies in different locations, so it's never going to feel the same. But there are also some other things going on in the city that we're not ready to talk about yet. Some other things that make it very interesting to go through and spend a lot of time there. You can imagine there's some cool things hidden in the hub.
Okay.
I think the firefight mode is probably, in terms of what we've done in Halo before, it's absolutely, I think, the most innovative thing we've done. Just allowing players of all skill levels to play together and fight against the common enemy is really cool. Like, the ability to play with your friends against, like, essentially unending waves of Covenant is awesome. The truth of the fact is that, you know, we wanted to make the ODSTs feel different, and we did that, in a lot of different ways, like I explained earlier, where your health doesn't recharge, they can't jump as high, they can't run as fast, they can't dual wheel, they don't have a motion tracker, but they obviously have some other upgrades. But at the end of the day, it comes down to what is fun, right? And if you're playing as an ODST and it's fun to rip off a turret and take it with you, then guess what? We're gonna keep it in the game. So, you know, if there are some inconsistencies that way, or seeming inconsistencies, things that a Spartan can do and an ODST can do, we just wanted to keep the game playable and fun at the end of the day. It's not a marketing product. You know, at Bungie, we make the kinds of games we want to play, right? And I think once you play ODST, the campaign, and you play Firefight a little bit now, you'll see that it's not a marketing product, right? We are absolutely 100% put ourselves into the game development. We tried to cram as much extra stuff in there as we possibly could, and we only worked on the game for about a year. So, you know, normally a Halo game, we worked on it for about 3 years of time, so this is really like a very condensed version of kind of a normal Halo release. But yeah, I would say, you know, wait till you play it. I think naysayers will definitely figure out that there's a lot more to the game than they realized when they first heard about it. Yes, the entire campaign is available through co-op.
Okay.
That is a tough question to answer, only because there's, just like Halo 3, you have 4-player co-op, you have skulls that are open from the beginning, you have multiple difficulty levels, so all those things kind of combine with the fact that every time you play a mission, it's going to be a little bit different, just like Halo games in the past. The AI is doing different things depending on what you're doing. And some people are going to play the game a lot faster than others. It'll be on par with what Halo 3's campaign was, so you can expect that. But I can't give you an hour breakdown because everyone plays differently. And some people are going to play a lot more time in New Mombasa in the city at night than others, because there's a lot to explore there. It's about the same as Halo.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure. So Firefight is our brand new cooperative mode. It allows up to 4 players to play together, system link, split screen, over Xbox Live, however they want to do it. They fight against unending waves of Covenant enemies. And what we tried to do was really encourage the cooperative aspect. So it's just you and your friends playing against the Covenant as they're coming towards you. You're sharing a limited amount of lives. So as you die, you're actually losing lives for your team. So it forces you kind of to really pay attention to each other and watch each other's backs. And then on top of that, we turn on skulls as you get further into the game. So the farther you get progression-wise into the Firefight mode, the harder it gets and kind of the crazier it gets. We're not saying the number of maps yet.
Less than 10 or more?
I can't say. Just a few maps.
Okay.
No Forge. Firefight multiplayer maps are definitely tough because you're dealing with a space that is normally designed for a campaign mission, and then you're trying to make that as replayable as a multiplayer map, which is very difficult because they require extremely different things. The single-player map requires that the AI can maneuver around the entire thing and not look stupid, right? They have to be able to understand where they can go and where they can't go. And in a multiplayer map, you never have AI in it, so you're allowed to do things like, multiple jump stairs and crazy things like that. So I think the firefight maps are definitely a little more difficult. Yeah. We've been working on Reach for about 2 years now.
Yeah.
Correct. Nope, it's an internal Bungie engine. Can't talk about it. Sorry. There's basically nothing I could talk about Reach.
I think all of those things are possible. At Comic-Con yesterday, we announced the name of the studio, 343 Industries, which is the internal Halo studio, and those guys currently are working on, with the Bungie team on ODST and on Reach, and then of course announced Halo Legends, the anime project. But yeah, they are game developers as well, so we'll see. We don't have anything to talk about yet, but I think all of the management of the merchandise and different areas of entertainment for the Halo franchise is what they're focused on. So what's the focus?
Yeah.
I think that there's certainly a lot of crossover between anime fans and Halo fans, so I think it really is intended for both of those audiences. I think it's intended to give Halo fans a different look at the Halo universe through the eyes of some of the best anime makers in the world, and it's also intended to give anime fans a look at the Halo universe.
Okay, so I finish.
Awesome.
Voilà.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot, guys.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, of course.